Hey, everybody. I am excited to bring on a fellow tribe member. We have Margaret with us today, and she is going to be talking to us about cryptocurrency and all the ins and outs of it. So, how did you get involved with crypto? What were your beginnings
Ah,
with it?
this is a good story.
Mm,
I was scrolling through my phone
hmm
and came across a General Flynn tweet,
hmm
and it basically said that crypto is inevitable.
mm,
And whoever shared the tweet said XRP backed by gold. So that got me looking into what XRP was, and that led me down a whole rabbit hole that we've been in since the end of August. So we've only been learning about this since August. So
hmm
um, I only will be able to share what I've researched. Um, and like all the other people say, I'm not a
hmm
financial advisor.
Right.
Don't take any financial advice from me. Yada yada yada.
hmm
Um,
Just here to help
so
out other tribe people.
exactly. So for those of us who have no idea what crypto is, um, basically it's a digital asset. So it's like digital money. And it's stored on a ledger, which a ledger is like a block of information, and the blockchain kind of becomes chains of those blocks of information. So they all kind of work together. Um, and hold on, I have all these notes here.
Cool.
Okay. I believe that the crypto will work with the new quantum financial system. Everything that we've learned about Ripple in particular, Ripple Net is going to be basically the bridge currency between, like, let's say the United States wanted to send money, somebody in the United States wanted to send money over to Africa. You would use XRP, the bridge currency, on the Ripple net to make that transaction. So with the SWIFT system, which is what we currently use right now, it's electronic, but it takes 2 to 4 days. It's really slow. Transactions can have errors. And so it's just antiquated. So the quantum financial system basically allows for a very fast transaction. And with the Ripple and XRP, it's cheap. It's you don't have those errors, and so. But I don't see. There's some confusing stuff for me that I'm still trying to like work out,
hmm
and that goes along with like the IMF and their role and how they play into the quantum financial system. That's the confusing part for me, because like I have YouTube channels that you guys can look at, and some of them don't even touch on the Q stuff or the quantum financial stuff, but some do. And those that do, they really, it's not really the Q stuff that they touch on, but it's sorry if this is all confusing.
That's all right.
It's it's the old system and it's the new reset that they're trying to push.
hmm
And according to some of the channels, it's going to look like doom and gloom, and this is their plan. But they say that XRP is it's the chosen one. So it's like you're saving grace,
hmm
right? So when the SWIFT system fails, this XRP and the RippleNet is supposed to, when Trump does the switch, is supposed to be our saving grace from their reset.
hmm
So
hmm
they're going to try to go on with their reset on the rest of the world, which is, I don't know if it's going to include negative interest rates here, but negative interest rates, it's going to have like control of, it's basically going to be like, it's the Agenda 21. It's what we don't want.
Right.
And so Trump, with his executive orders that he has written with Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple,
Mm.
and Steve Mnuchin. So all of these things have been like in the works behind the scenes. So there are executive orders that basically transition us onto this new quantum financial system at a particular time. We don't know when that will be. And that will basically screw the SWIFT system, the IMF, and all the bankers. And if the rest of the world wants, the prosperity that we are going to have, then they need to make that switch and use this system. And I think I'm hopeful that it takes all of the good things from like a new financial system and doesn't really include the bad things. But that's to be seen, I think, still. But if we trust the plan, right?
Yeah.
But I think that it won't take long, but the rest of the world will follow suit, and it will allow the entire world to then be on a level playing field. And I know that's something that Trump has said many times, and other people around, even people in the IMF keep talking about a level playing field, but what's a level playing field to them?
Right. Exactly.
So, okay. So that's kind of like the juicy, like, background story of it. Now we get into like, how can we utilize it?
Can I add a little bit here?
Yes, go ahead.
So I follow Pimpy. I don't know if you're familiar with his channel,
No.
but he's a great person to look into. He's gone into depth in terms of understanding like this difference between, because we're diverging, right? We've got kind of the initial plan by the deep state was to have us get into a war, right? Like the 16-year plan, have us get into a war with China and or Russia that was going to be started by North Korea. And then from there, the coup de grace would then be COVID, have the virus come out. And then Bill Gates can swoop in with the Hegelian dialectic and say, oh, we have an answer for you, which is my vaccine. And then within the vaccine was going to be the microchip, right? And then starting next January, there's going to be a rollout of what's called the digital wallet. And you're going to get a universal income of about $2,000. And so don't sign up for it, you guys. But when you get this because it's free money, right? Well, nothing's ever free from the government.
That's the catch.
So, exactly. So once you do that, then what they do is the government can now directly deposit that money into your bank account, which means what? They have direct access to the bank account. So once they tie that in with the microchip, now with the 5G towers and everything else, you are controlled, you're monitored, et cetera. So when you start
and actually controlled, not just what you can spend.
That's right.
It will actually control you.
Yep. And if you were to step out of line, then they can either freeze your bank account or withdraw money or whatever.
Social credit.
Exactly. Extension of China. So that's kind of that timeline. And so they're calling this the Great Reset. And it's even like the cover of Time magazine now. This is all of the cabal's timeline of what they wanted to roll out. So what Trump has been doing the past 4 years is he's taking the entire agenda at every step of the way that the deep state has been wanting to do, and he's paralleling it. He's allowing them to have a certain degree of things roll out for us truthers to tell the normies, see, look, here's proof that this was their agenda. However, all of that is blanketed in this larger context of support, knowing that it's not going to fully roll out to where we're screwed. And so then right when the cabal thinks that like, oh, okay, we got him, now we're going to finalize whatever extension of the plan we're rolling out. Now Trump swoops in and pulls the rug out from underneath him. So Steve Mnuchin, who's the secretary of our treasury, that he kind of came in during COVID because that was their agenda, right? That they had to speed up the timeline of rolling out the virus in order, because they realized like they're backed into a corner, right? So that's why then you have the race riots right afterwards. It's like, oh crap, we're not being able to have all this unfurl in the speed that we want it to. So that's why you're seeing all these things that don't make sense. So what Mnuchin did is he kind of encompassed the Federal Reserve back into the Treasury. So now he has oversight over the Federal Reserve, which of course is the game changer, right? So they can't press a button, print money, and have that money be doled out on like through the back door, like what Obama tried to do with the Iran deal. And so now who's in charge of Mnuchin is Trump, and who's in charge of Trump is us. So right now, literally, Trump is the most powerful person on the planet, hands down, bar none. And so what's happening is we are having this transition, and luckily we've been able to use the cover of COVID as this turbulent time when we make this transition, because we're switching away from the old Swiss SWIFT system and we're moving on to the QFS. And so during that transition, my understanding is that, at least according to Charlie Ward, so take that for what it's worth, but in like early August or so, we've already transitioned on to QFS. So
I think it was September 1st.
September? Okay. So that's kind of what my understanding with that. Now there was something else I was going to mention. Oh, so we've got kind of two revaluations that will happen. So the Cabal timeline is they want to roll out the Great Reset, as they're calling it. And what Trump and the Patriots are wanting to roll out is also a reset, but it's Nasara and Jassara. And it's going to start, like you said, exactly, in a good way. And it's going to start here. And this is why Trump keeps saying America first, America first. In my opinion, like I said in my silver videos, which you should watch, people, if you haven't seen them yet, that like when he says America first and he looks at everything that's been happening, when you look at that and you compare that to the criteria for what Nasara means, like I feel like almost everything he's doing is to fully roll out Nasara before kind of saying to the world, hey, here's this plan we're going to roll out. They're just doing it and they're not even calling it by name. Exactly. So this currency change is then it's like the crown jewel on top of everything. And so it will likely happen here in the States first. And then once he gets back into office, that then all of these trade deals and everything else that's happening, that's all cover for getting all these countries on board. And we're seeing like all these peace treaties that are happening, which is also a further extension of Nasara. And of course, over 300 judges that are now trained in constitutional law and a new Supreme Court justice. I mean, all of it's like these boxes are being ticked off. He's now nominated for what, 5 Nobel Peace Prizes? I mean, it's crazy.
I know.
So
do you think Trump will step down?
I don't know. I think it's too early to make some sort of conclusion because it could go either way. There's talk that not only he could serve out his second term, but even potentially a third term.
I heard that.
Right? So that would be freaking amazing.
Right.
But at the same time, there's also talk that like we might not need another president after this. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
I don't know. I think, I mean, I know that we don't particularly need anyone to govern us, especially once we realize our true potential. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I like Trump and I like, I don't know that maybe it's not ready yet. Maybe he'll step down, maybe after the next term, you know. Yeah. I still think that there's a lot of work to be done.
Exactly.
And it might be too soon for that, you know, as far as as soon as next year, you know, or whatever, whenever they want to go live with this. Because I know they said within weeks or months, we're expecting XRP to moon, you know, to shoot up in price. Because right now it's even lower than it was the other day. It's only 24 cents again.
Wow.
So, you know, it may not be that way for much longer, you know.
Yeah.
It's imminent.
That's why we wanted to do this video right now, right?
Exactly.
So that we're kind of all in on it, and we can jump on it. Just like silver or however people want to invest, you know, now's the time. Silver went down too. It's like at $23 or so. It's just like,
I think everything will probably go down. I know XRP in particular, Brad Garlinghouse, which is the CEO of Ripple, and XRP is Ripple's cryptocurrency. It's their digital coin, even though they've now separated themselves. But I forgot what I was going to say.
It's all right.
What was I saying? No, you don't know. My husband's standing here, so.
Oh, that's funny. About Brad and how.
Oh, thank you. Yes. He basically was saying that see, I still don't remember.
That's all right. No worries. So he's in charge of Ripple, and
CEO.
so
Yeah, I
we
know
have,
what I was saying, but I don't remember where I was going with that.
yeah. So we have. Let's clarify this a little bit because I still am not fully understanding it all. So we have Ripple, and then we have XRP.
Right.
And the way that Charlie described it is that Ripple is like the railroad tracks, and then XRP is like the train that goes on the tracks. Is that how you understand it?
Right. There's a really interesting YouTube video from a creator that we just found out about. And I have, when we share the screen, I'll go over his page.
Okay.
And he actually has several that would be of interest to our group.
Cool.
And they're very well put together.
Mm.
But it has a graphic. XRP's logo is an X, and it looks like a mirror image. And so for me, that's like huge as far as like think mirror,
Right.
and watch the water.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's many meanings, but I think that this just fits right in. And if this is one of their trump cards, to me, it's like, hello, it's right in your face. But okay, so there's a graphic that shows like money coming in to the top of the X for the XRP logo, and then a different money coming out. And like, it's just like interchangeable instantly. There's no friction between the currencies. So this acts as, it will hold value. XRP will hold the value of all the money in all the world. It's the internet of value, essentially, is what XRP is going to be valued by. Because more than gold, silver, and precious metals can be valued. It's also commodities, derivatives. There's a whole slew of things. And they showed a pyramid, and gold was the tip. But derivatives was the biggest part, and that is quadrillions worth of dollars that are going to be moving through this system on a international level. XRP has many use cases. One of them is cross-border payments, and it's going to basically allow, what do they call it when they send money? What? No. Look, there's a name for it. It's called, so if you wanted to send money to a family member in another country, I don't remember what the name of it is.
Like a bank wire transfer?
Kind of, yeah. But it's not true. Sorry. Yeah, it's like a bank wire. Like, instead of, you wouldn't use Western Union anymore. You would use, well, you might still use Western Union, but Western Union would be using the Ripple net in order to perform their services. So let's say a fee for transferring funds from the US to Mexico used to be $20 to send $100.
Right.
It might go down to $2 to send that $100. So your recipient is going to get more money.
Yeah. And faster.
And you're going to, right. And faster. Exactly. It's not going to be 2 to 4 days. It's going to be within seconds.
Yeah.
So, but dang, I really wish I could remember what I was saying. Anyway, I'm sure it'll come to me.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, you were talking, did you want to finish filling in about the?
I guess just one other thing, and that is that in my silver video, I was talking about Lynette Zhang and how she was saying, I recorded the video on like a Sunday, and she had made a video on a Friday saying that the whole system could crash that next day on that Monday. And this was like, I don't know, a week, maybe 2 weeks ago or so. And so I've watched subsequent videos to try to follow up of like, well, what the heck happened? And why is this fear mongering? Like, why didn't the system crash like she had predicted, et cetera? And so basically what happened is we have switched how essentially all of our loans, so student loans, bank loans, mortgages, that we've switched the system or the backbone of how those loans are housed, like who's in charge of those. And before it was called the LIBOR, LIBOR, which is an acronym for something I can't remember. But basically, all these big banks back in like, I think it was 70s or 80s, they got into big trouble. And so they went into this LIBOR system where basically all the big fat cats agreed that they would have some sort of agreement in terms of what the standards would be for, like, I don't know if it's interest rates or all the specifics. I'm not too well versed in all the details of it. But of course, what happened was, even though there's now governmental oversight, that they're all in each other's wallets. And so you still can't trust them. And so it went from LIBOR to another series of acronyms. It starts with the letter S, but I don't really know what that new system is referring to or the details of it yet. So I want to do some more digging. But the basic takeaway is, with this switch, that's what she was worried about, because now the government has more control over all of these loans than they did before. And so that transition, A, could have caused a crash, but B, it's like we're putting so much more of our investments in the hands of government with this. But when we take a step back and we understand the whole trajectory from this Nassara hypothesis, that makes sense, because in order for all of these loans to be forgiven, you want that governmental oversight in order to cancel everything. So it's all falling into alignment in a good way. Right. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know if there's going to be a crash. There's still a lot of talk about that. And there's a lot of talk about, a housing crash, possibly like next winter or spring, with all of these, with COVID, they pushed out, rent, either for commercial or, personal real estate. And so these people are still kind of living in their places for free because they don't have jobs, et cetera. But eventually that's going to come to an end. And so there's a big prediction that there's going to be a global housing crash. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. I think either way, the Patriots are going to be, they know all the steps involved to try to make this as much of like a cushiony transition as possible.
And I kind of feel like it has been already.
Absolutely.
I mean, it could have been much worse. And a lot of the things that I think a lot of people feared have not come to fruition.
Exactly. I mean, if we didn't have COVID and some of these other things that we have reappropriated or transformed into a positive thing, and I was talking to Angel last night, and we were just saying like how beautiful it is that like every step of the way, when you see these swamp rats like try to take control over Trump, he's able to pull out his own Trump cards and like transition everything, and it boomerangs back to them. Like, you're the boomerang.
Glorious.
It is. It's so glorious. And I call it, my phrase for it is, I call it the Trump effect, because it's like, I don't care if it's Stormy Daniels or the media or like whatever, anything comes against this man, it's like he's impervious. Like Superman when he's walking and all these bullets just like bounce off of him. Like, that's what it feels like. And, it's just further exposing all of these deep state assets for, the black hats that they are. So I feel like that's a form of like, how this is like biblical, right? That you're allowing everything to just unfold in a divine way. And you know what I heard the other day? I heard that, how people are saying that like Trump was divinely orchestrated to be in the position and everything. So his mom's name is Mary and his dad's middle name is Christ.
I know. I saw that. I saw the whole breakdown. Yeah, it's wild.
Wow. It's just so many layers to this,
I know. Sometimes I feel like I have to pinch myself.
Yeah, exactly. I was telling Angel last night, I'm like, well, we've broken like the spell of Hollywood, so I'm not really that engaged in movies anymore. But it's like, how can we not spend every moment of our waking consciousness that's free to learning, because this is the best movie ever. Like
for the last 3 years.
Yeah. It's like you miss a day and you miss so much of like the nuances of everything that happens. I mean, just the other day, like Dave from X22 did a video of like a little video clip of Obama lecturing to probably like 2 people, but it was
his
so
voice
funny.
Crackled.
Yeah. Like for the first time I saw Cool Barry kind of crack that veneer, and it was just really juicy to see that.
Yes.
They're very desperate, and we're right at the tail end. So, But, you know, I think this is the beauty, kind of to go off subject for a second, of like all of us, like tribes members, because this is just the start, right? I mean, like, as I mentioned when we were at Camp Disclosure, it's like once all the swamp is drained and the arrests happen and everything else and disclosure takes place, like we're going to be in such a different world where there's going to be a need for all of us to like extend whatever we feel called or passionate with our own services and strengths, because we are on the cutting edge of like the transition team, you know, and we are all, I heard a podcast recently and they were saying that like we're all being groomed to be grief counselors for the ones behind us. And I really like that. So, you know, the more that we can continue to stay dialed in with one another, whether that's through email chains or, I mean, we all have to find some sort of alternative outside of Facebook, because that could, at any given moment, you know, our new groups that we've been establishing, whether if it's Midnight Riders or what's mine, Second Coming of
Dongicus.
Yeah, right? Like whatever, you know, like all of that could go down in a second, you know? And so, so I'm putting a plug to everybody, get on MeWe and start joining Meme Gods or Midnight Riders or something, just so that, or reach out to Angel or Margaret or myself so that we can add your name or email address or phone number to our roster, just so that we can all stay in touch with one another, should Facebook go down. So that's my little
I
plug.
agree.
Yeah. All right. So do we want to transition to screen share?
Well, one moment. I think that would be what you just said about how we are going to all be called to do whatever we're called to do. There's a lot of talk about like those who invest in those who hedge against the coming crash, whether it be with silver or gold or digital assets. In particular XRP, because there's if XRP is the chosen one and that's going to be what all the value runs on, a 24-cent per coin investment right now, let's say you spend $20, that $20 is going to turn into millions of dollars.
Wow.
And so at least that's what the speculation is.
Yeah.
Because one XRP coin is designed to run at $10,000 per coin or more. Wow. And it's supposed to blow Bitcoin out of the water. See, Bitcoin is the cabal's digital asset of choice, but Bitcoin does not have a use case. It is not going to be up to code with regulation the way Ripple and XRP are. So right now you're seeing a lot of people like, oh, XRP is a scam, yada, yada, yada. Bitcoin's what you want to invest in, but it's not. Ah, yes. Well, I do want to touch on that anyway. But so those of us who are investing in XRP, there are some people who have been investing for 3 whole years. Like that's, I've only been doing it for a couple months, so I don't have like, you know, as much as some of these people. But there's a very prominent rich guy, Dan Pena. And he says this is the greatest motherfucking wealth on the planet. Excuse me, greatest transfer of wealth on the planet. And he curses a lot, so I wanted to channel him a bit. But anyway, he says this is the greatest transfer of wealth on the planet. So basically what's going to occur is all the boomers that have all of their money are essentially going to be transferring it into the hands of the Gen Xers and millennials through this reset process. And you know, those of us who have invested in XRP get to kind of utilize our money to help humanity. And that's what a lot of people that I've noticed in the XRP community are excited about. Some of the channels that we follow are like, oh, I can't wait for all the projects that I have lined up, you know, to help humanity. And that's kind of like where Ivan and I are at, you know, like we have some things lined up that we want to use our money to help humanity with. Now, whenever the technology comes out that will make that obsolete, whatever, but you know, there's always a transition. So
that's exciting.
But one other thing before we get into the screen share is the Three Gorges Dam in China. So Bitcoin is mined right south of that dam and are in the flood zone for when that dam blows.
Mm.
And it's really a matter of when, not if. And they also say that that moment will kind of be like the death of the Chinese Communist Party,
Oh, wow.
in a way, because that's kind of like their look what we made, moment. And for it to come crashing down, they're not really going to have a whole lot of legs to stand on after that point.
Yeah.
And
What does mining
granted,
mean? Because I keep hearing
computer.
that Bitcoin and other crypto is mined, but I don't really understand
Mm-hmm.
what that means. Do you know much about that part?
Sorry, I have my husband talking to me at the same time.
Okay.
The Three Gorges Dam is kind of like the powerhouse that keeps the computers cold. It keeps the power running. It keeps the computers able to do their problem solving, which is proof of work. And that's how Bitcoin works. It's complicated. I'm not exactly sure on how it all works, but the saying is proof of work doesn't work. These are just basically math problems that these computers are doing for no reason, essentially. And through that process, it mines a Bitcoin, whatever.
Okay.
But XRP is the greenest cryptocurrency we have. There's only, I think there's 100 billion XRP made, and they're already made. So there's not going to be any more made. There's a finite amount, and the XRP will be valued accordingly. And they say that the value of it is only going to continue to go up and up and up and up, and is never going to go down the way Bitcoin has historically. And because of that, you never want to sell all your XRP. Just to throw that out there.
That's good to know.
Okay. So anyhow, so that was my little blip on the Three Gorges Dam. XRP is green. It is environmentally friendly. Bitcoin is not. And that's another sticking point as to why XRP is the chosen one. Okay. So do you want to go ahead and go into the screen share?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So we have here, this is a website that, here, let me scroll down. This guy here, doesn't even say his name. Dario, I guess, Status. Okay, so he's the one that has designed all these infographics. And over here on the right is all of the infographics that he has uploaded. This is a really good place to start if you're brand new to crypto, especially XRP. It goes over what is Ripple, how it works, but of course you can go to ripple.com and go through their website, which I highly recommend, and kind of take a look at what they're about. Okay, so this, maybe we can look at how many wallets people have. There's, so I think they said the last count is only, it's less than 1% of the entire population has invested in XRP. So as an investor of XRP, once the transition of wealth occurs, you will then be the new 1%. And I really feel that those who were the 1% won't be anymore because of the executive orders on the crimes against humanity. And we already know that the old system is deeply connected to that. I mean, the whole system in and of itself is illegal. So XRP is going by the rules. And okay, so okay. So anyway, so they're just little infographics like this. Where to buy XRP is on here. This one in particular up here. How to buy XRP on Coinbase. Coinbase is like the #1 exchange right now to buy cryptocurrency. You can buy any crypto, well, not any current cryptocurrency, but most cryptocurrencies
Okay.
on. And I think once you start dabbling into it, you're going to end up with more than one cryptocurrency app on your phone if you really want to get into it. Also, it's possible to have more than one wallet. I think we have like 6 or 7 wallets, but they don't have anything on them necessarily. What you are able to do, like some coins are supported on Coinbase that aren't supported on other exchanges and vice versa. So when we were looking into what coins to invest in, there are some that aren't available on Coinbase. So you have to download another wallet in order to have access to those coins. So it's like that in, most exchanges don't have everything on them. The interesting thing about PayPal is they just started to say that you could buy cryptocurrency on PayPal, which is brand new within the last couple of weeks or so. But the downfall is that you can't transfer your crypto after you purchase it off of their exchange ever, as of right now. Coinbase, it takes, I think it said up to 6 days in order to be able to transfer off of Coinbase onto your personal wallet. And, I don't have the box with me. Darn it. There are a couple of different wallets that you can use to store your crypto. The exchanges are considered hot wallets. They're online, and I would not recommend that. I would recommend, if you can't afford or don't want to buy yet, or you're waiting for it to arrive, a hard cold storage wallet. I recommend specifically for XRP. I think there are other cold storage offline wallets that aren't like hardware that you can download for other cryptocurrencies. I'm not sure on that, but the one that I know of for XRP is called XUMM. It's XUMM, and it's an app that you can, thank you, my lovely husband. All right. Here is the, oh, that's really too bright. Okay. This is the box
Like
that a Ledger Nano.
Drive, right?
I'm sorry?
It's like a USB drive?
It's almost like a USB drive. So it's open in this picture.
Okay.
This little circle thing is like a swivel. So this would swing around and close this up, and it is about the size of a jump drive. There's 2 buttons on the top, and then a place for you to plug in the USB to hook it up to your computer or phone.
Okay.
And that hooks up your wallet to an app on your computer or your phone, and then that's where you can utilize the exchanges to send your cryptocurrency to your wallet.
Oh, okay.
This one is a Nano S. They also have a Nano X. The S can store a small amount of crypto. I think we have the availability for, I think, almost 4 different types of crypto on this particular wallet.
Okay.
The X has the ability to store a numerous amount. Those are great for people who really get into like day trading, and that's what they do with their, but for like regular people who just want to invest in 1 or 2 coins, the Nano S is only $59.99.
Okay.
Which is really inexpensive, but after shipping and everything, we think we paid a total of $89 something for everything. Ledger.com. Do not get it from Amazon at all, ever, because there's a potential that they may have already been messed with. And so cryptocurrency is something that it's kind of like the Wild West, is what they say still. So you've got hackers and people trying to scam you all over the place. So you've really got to be careful on what you, where you send your money. I think the Ledger Nano is probably the safest unhackable.
Okay.
As long as you don't tell anybody your passwords, basically. The cold wallets have, I don't think I have, well, maybe. They have a set of words. I think it could be 12 to 24 words. Nope, it's in the other thing. That you would write down on a piece of paper, or the Ledger gives you a little cardboard insert that you can write your things down on. And that's like your recovery key. So if you ever smashed your ledger or you broke it or whatever, it fell in water, you could buy a new one, and you could basically rejuvenate your account on your new ledger with those old keys.
Okay.
But those keys prevent other people from having access, where on a hot wallet, you don't own any of that. Those keys are not yours to access. Those are the exchanges, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's why it's recommended that you move them off. Now, the XUMM Wallet, you do get a set of keys, but it's not, you don't have it in your hand, right? So somebody still has part of the access to your stuff. But the XUMM Wallet is a Ripple-based wallet. So it's their cold storage wallet. So that's why I recommend that one if you're going to keep it still online, but offline at the same time. It's kind of
so Coinbase is a hot wallet example. Is that right?
Yes, it's a hot wallet, but it's also an exchange. So you could buy, sell, and trade your crypto on Coinbase. But you could also just leave it there in your account, right? So that would be like a hot wallet storage.
And then if you go to ledger.com, let's say you buy the XUMM, and what were the two options? It was an S versus an X. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So you get the S because it's the milder version, let's say, if you're not really into day trading, etc. It comes in the mail.
Right.
Then you plug it in.
You have to sign for it.
You sign for it. Okay. You plug it into your computer or your phone. It connects to, let's say, your Coinbase account, and then it downloads a copy of all of the coinage that you've purchased onto that ledger.
It's not a copy.
Not a copy.
It moves them off of Coinbase and all onto your ledger. Okay. So you will then be the sole person that can touch your crypto.
I see.
You essentially become your own bank because
that makes sense.
The app has what they call a toolkit. And within that toolkit, I can use my XRP to make checks. I can create an escrow account. I haven't really dabbled into like what all you can do with it, but the toolkit for the ledger is very interesting. And I think it's going to play a very prominent role in the near future for those who have, their storage there. Now, there is also a bank. The first crypto bank is called Kraken. Release the Kraken.
Interesting.
Kraken is an exchange that basically became a bank. And there's rumors that Ripple will become a bank. There's rumors that Coinbase might become a bank. With these regulations, and you have things like PayPal and Venmo and all these other pay apps, but they're doing banking, but they're not banks.
Right.
And so what this is going to do is it's going to provide rules and regulations for those companies, which will then, I guess, kind of streamline the whole process and make everybody kind of talk the same language. To where, so basically what they say is they want to be able to send money as easily as an email. So like, if somebody doesn't have a PayPal account and you're trying to send it through PayPal, you can't send the money. But you could email somebody no matter if they use Google or Hotmail. So why can't it be that easy? So that's what basically XRP's role is supposed to be. It's supposed to streamline and modernize everything.
And one of the benefits of moving your crypto to a ledger, to a cold storage, would be you become your own bank, but then it's less of a risk for the Coinbase, for example, getting hacked and having your coins being stolen. Is that true?
Yeah, there's quite a few exchanges recently that have had millions of customers wiped out.
Wow.
And one exchange did say, you know what, we're going to replace everything everybody lost, but that's not a guarantee that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And as we get closer to potential cyber attacks after the election, they're really stressing for people to get your crypto offline.
Okay.
Whether that's in a XUMM wallet or some other cold storage Ledger. There may be a couple other different type of wallets, but
Mm-hmm.
Ledger is still, you know, like the top dog.
Okay.
So,
Good to know.
okay. Now, okay, so go through this list here, learn through the infographics. They're really, really well put together. Okay. YouTubers. And some of these over here you'll see are my kids. So you're going to see Lego and all these Minecraft stuff. But okay. So the Bearable Bull was one of the first ones that we started following.
Mm-hmm.
In his playlist, he has a podcast. Now, these are much longer videos than the ones he puts out daily. In particular, number 4 here, XRP is ready, Trump ready, gold standard ready, BRICS ready. Everybody's ready.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's both types of resets. They're all kind of culminating at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But see, he even talks about Nasera. He talks about the health crisis.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't specifically, explicitly say Q,
Mm-hmm.
but you kind of know when you know the lingo.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Exactly. So I highly recommend going through these podcasts. I haven't watched all of them, but they are very well put together and very informative. And I just really like the way he puts his videos together. Mm-hmm. This guy, Bonfire Guy, I've watched both of these. They're basically the same, but the spicy one is just a little bit longer and it's slightly different. I recommend that one over this one. You're not going to get much different information. Mm-hmm. But the level playing field, all of them are called the level playing field, but that's basically what everybody's going for, right? The level playing field. No more is the US dollar going to be dominating and controlling countries.
Right.
XRP is not going to belong to anyone. XRP, I don't remember what, if it's the XRP Ledger or Ripple, one of them just became a nonprofit. So, and they've separated themselves from each other. So that way, if something ever happened to Ripple, nothing would touch XRP. And it's not going to be positioning Ripple to become this mighty conglomerate. They don't want that. They just, they're just providing the technology basically. And yes, they have their share of XRP that was gifted to them, but you know, they made I think it's only like 5% of, which is still a huge amount, but I think that's what they have. Anyhow, so, okay. I recommend going through all of his videos too. He's got quite a few, Bonfire Guy. Come on, there we go. And they're all right up our alley. So I really want to sit here and go through all his stuff, but I don't have a whole lot of time to do that. But here at the bottom, he talks about the Internet of Value. That's basically what we are moving into. The Internet is much more than what we think it is. Okay, I don't know if I have any others up here, but so another prominent YouTube channel that I recommend is called Digital Asset Investor. He is on it. He has gone to the Swell, which is it's like a big meeting for the crypto world, the bankers. They just had it, I think the middle of October. They just had a Swell. Of course, this year it was all like pre-recorded and digital, but the year prior to that, they actually had a big, you know, whatever they call it, a big meeting. Anyway, so this guy here, Digital Asset Investor, he gets to be, to have access where the Swell things are all like private. You can't see it until after it's happened. He gets to see it while it's happening. So really recommend him.
Okay.
XRP Chiz. He is one of our new favorites. He's got a lot of great information. He's super high energy. But this particular video, XRP Simpsons prediction, if you have Disney Plus, they have The Simpsons on there available to view this particular season, season 31. And it's episode 13. It's called the Frink coin. And it kind of, you know how The Simpsons like to predict things. It kind of gives you a touch of, you know, they're mocking us still, but it kind of gives you a touch of what is to come. And, you know, in one of the scenes, there's actually a guy paying for a jet ski with what looks like a nano ledger, a ledger nano.
Wow.
But they kind of mock you and, I don't know, kind of make fun of cryptocurrency in a way. But it's inevitable, like Flynn said. And and I don't remember who said it in Congress, but he was being questioned by Congress, and he basically said, look, if we don't do this, it'll go around us. So the rest of the world is doing it. China, I think, already has their digital yuan active, but it's not using the Ripple system. It's using whatever, you know, whatever system that they have currently. Okay, Extravod is another one. I don't know, he's kind of interesting. I'm not a huge fan, but I do like the information that he brings. His voice is a little, whatever. You would understand once you hit play. But the information he gives is really interesting, but there's a lot of dead air. And when there's dead air on his videos, it's because he wants you to look at it. But he's super fast when he goes through, but he leaves all the links below his videos. So that's really nice to be able to go back and be like, oh, I want to check out that Twitter account because, you know, there's a lot of good info. And that's a whole other thing. There's not just YouTube channels. There's Twitter accounts too. Mr. C is one, Mr. Pool, Val Jester is another one. Those guys, and Kevin, was it Kevin, Brad, no, hold on, Ivan will look it up. Well, David Schwartz is another one to follow too. He's right there on the XRP Ripple stuff. He's the CTO. Okay. He's the CTO of Ripple. Okay. Bear with me here.
No worries.
I don't see him on here. Maybe he's on here. Digital Perspectives is good. James Roll XRP is very good. He's the teacher of teachers for cryptocurrency. He also has a really nice video that you can show your family. It's always recommended that you share this knowledge so that way as many people can benefit as possible. And like for my parents, I helped them invest. They didn't invest, you know, personally, but they gave me money to invest for them that I've set aside, you know, like I've separated my crypto from theirs. So that way, when the time comes, we can make their wallet and I can just transfer it over to them.
Awesome.
So I definitely recommend that, especially with people who may not be as tech savvy. Moon Lambo is good. Mr. BXRP. Kevin Cage, that's the guy's name. You can find him on YouTube and Twitter. All good crypto channels. I mean, there's so many. But Crypto Violin, this guy's from France. I love his accent. Anyhow, so XRP there are global investors. And hey, babe, what was that website that has the X's going across on the map? Is that true? No, you don't know? Okay. Anyway, there's a really neat website. I think that some of the YouTube creators discuss it, but it shows like a map of the world and then all the cryptocurrencies that are available kind of all around it on the sides of the screen. And you can see in real time the crypto transactions and what countries they're going to. It's just a really neat fiat leak. Okay, let me see if I can pull that up. I just want to show you guys. So anyway, Alex, is there anything you want to add while I pull this up?
Nothing's coming to mind. It's very
All right.
interesting learning about all this because I'm new to this whole world. So I'm playing student right now.
And I don't claim to be, but okay, so let me just run over while this is loading. It's unstable. Of course it is.
We're all just helping those one step behind us.
It said, yes, exactly. Okay, so, oh, the X family currencies. There are thousands right now, and 99% of them are not going to be here once regulation occurs in the United States. A lot of them are scams. A lot of them are getting people rich quickly. So when you're looking to invest in cryptocurrency, one thing you want to look for is the white paper. Coins.com or Coin Paprika are good websites that you can use to view the white papers. You'll want to look for the use case of the cryptocurrency. What is it used for? So here's the United States. And all those little circles, when it fully loads, they'll have the logo of the cryptocurrency inside of it. And depending on the size of the circle is the amount of the transaction. So bigger circles are bigger transactions, smaller circles, smaller transactions.
So this is time.
They always, I'm sorry, what?
This is what's happening in real time with transferring?
Yes. Okay. These are real-time purchases.
Wow.
So Algo here, this one, I don't know if you can see on the screen, Algo, over to the left, is going to be backed by Palladium. That is an X currency. Let me see if I can find them all for you. XRP obviously is an X currency. It will be backed by gold. XLM, which I've heard rumored our new dollar is going to be backed by XLM, which is silver.
Okay.
So here's XLM. Come on. XLM is also Stellar Lumens is the company. XLM is their coin. Get really comfortable and familiar with this one. I recommend, if you want, to invest in XRP and XLM. Okay. Those are both good. XLM is only 7 cents a coin. XRP is only 24 or 26 cents, something like that. There's XRP. So right now it's at 24 cents. And then there is another one, which I don't see on here, which I may have skipped on accident, but it's called XDC, and that is copper.
Oh, okay.
So you have these X currencies are our, basically our precious metals tokenized. Okay. So XRP is basically like your wholesale cryptocurrency. It's going to be for the banks basically to use. XLM is more of the retail, meant for us, for stores to use, for the regular people to use. So that's why I say I recommend both, because they're both going to be valuable more so than what they are. And so one of the points that I want to make about this investment, as opposed to investing in the regular stock market, or even a savings account or an IRA or something like that, the return on investment for crypto is going to be like, you could have 1,000% return in a day, in hours on your investment. So I don't know, it's risky, yeah, but the rewards could be much higher. And so they recommend only investing as much as you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
Um,
Good financial
you know,
advice.
because you might get hacked, you know, but that's why you have a cold storage. Um, okay. I know I have more notes here.
This is good stuff.
Oh, that's great stuff. Okay. Okay, Twitter. CBDCs are central bank digital currencies, and the United States will have a CBDC. It will be the USDC, right? The digital USDC. And like China has the digital yuan. So the central banks are still trying to have their own cryptocurrencies, and we may utilize them, but they'll be running off of RippleNet and XRP, our system, which is a US-based company. And was it an extra VOD video with the digital perspective? Okay. Digital Perspectives, that one YouTube channel, one of his recent videos like goes over the executive orders that Brad Garlinghouse and Steve Mnuchin signed with Trump, or wrote, and then Trump signed. And so I recommend going over that. I don't know if I can find it. If you know, I don't know if there's links maybe we could add afterwards. We can link specific videos. Okay. All right. So, oh, this is a little snippet of gossip. Bitcoin is controlled by China, but they say there's like this guy, I can't even pronounce his name, that owns a majority of the Bitcoin. They don't even know if he's a real person. Nobody's ever seen him.
Oh, wow.
But one of the videos we just watched recently said that that person may actually be Putin.
Oh, interesting.
So that's, and so that may play with their BRICS movement, with the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and then South Africa are coming up with their BRICS system, which is like their new financial system that we are not doing. That was part of pulling out of the trade agreements and all of the alphabet agencies that are global, the globalists. You know, he told everybody we're nationalists, we're not globalists, we're not, you know. So basically that's when they knew that Trump wasn't going to play along, but they still have to push their narrative just in case, for whatever reason, they might win, which they won't.
Right.
Yes, never sell all your extra. And a lot of the digital wallets, when you go to, like, for the XUMM wallet and the Ledger wallet, when you go to transfer your crypto over, you need to have a minimum of 20 XRP to open the account.
Oh, okay.
I would recommend sending over that 20 XRP initially in case you make a mistake. You've only lost 20 XRP, not all of your XRP.
Okay. Is there a charge for transferring?
And then maybe on some exchanges, but Coinbase, I have not seen any charges. And I've moved between the XUMM wallet and Coinbase, even off of like crypto.com is another exchange that we've used. There's a fee to make your purchase, like a 10% fee. So like if you spend $10, $9 of it's going to go towards crypto, $1 of it's going to go to the company. But to transfer it off, I don't believe there's anything. And if there is, it would be fractions of an XRP that you wouldn't even notice. It would be shaved off the back end, really. Okay, one of the biggest things that the Bearable Bull pointed out, and in one of his videos, he goes over like, hey, you need to look this up. So basically what it is what to do if you find yourself suddenly wealthy. So there are like 10 or 15 things that you will want to do or not want to do And one of those things is don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody that you have suddenly come into a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, among them is things like get a good attorney, find a financial advisor, things like that. So I highly recommend, if you're going to invest in XRP or XLM, that you look that up for yourself. That way you can just be prepared. Oh, and a lot of people, they'll invest, but they don't know how to exit. So there are different exit plans. I wouldn't exit all the way. Again, like I said, don't sell all your XRP. Only, I think they recommend like increments. So it's going to moon, which means it's going to appreciate in value. And as it does, it may be like, it'll go from, let's say, hypothetically speaking, 24 cents to $50 a coin. That's a huge return on investment. I think the highest this coin was $3 and change.
Okay.
And for a lot of people, they made a lot of money depending on how much XRP they already had.
Yeah.
So they recommend, like, let's say it goes up to $50 a coin. You have, let's say, 300 XRP. Take maybe 5 or 10% out of that. And you know, if you need to use some, don't, you know, just a small amount at a time. But then, you know, they're speculating it to be like 3 big jumps. So like the first jump, it'll go from like 24 cents to, or maybe 30 cents to $2,500. And then again to $10,000. And there have been several glitches, which I've really only heard of XRP glitching, where it'll show a $50,000 coin or a $100,000 coin for like, bloop, and then it's gone.
Wow.
So some are saying that, is this, you know, nothing's a coincidence. So are they kind of giving us a peek as to what the potential for this coin is going to be? Now, remember, it's going to transfer all of the money in all of the world. There's 100 billion of them that will be in circulation. Only 45 billion, I think, right now are in circulation. And it is live in some areas. There are some places around the world that are currently using the Bohemian Sand Dollar just went live this month, and they're using XRP. And I think there was somewhere else that was using it too. I don't remember. But so it is being used, and they're having a lot of success with it. So what we're waiting for this to shoot up in price is adoption. And it probably won't happen until after the crash, because problem, reaction, solution.
Right.
So, you know, you do have a little bit of time. We just don't know when that'll be. So there's kind of what they call FOMO, fear of missing out.
Right.
Okay, so for, at least I know for XRP and XLM, because those are the only 2 that I have personal experience with transferring, you have an address, which is something that you can share with anybody.
Okay.
Like when you see the QR codes with like a Bitcoin address, that's part of what XRP has for you to be able to send and transfer. But there's a second part called a memo, and that is like your personal account. So the address is kind of shared, but your memo directs it directly to your account. So without the memo, I would not recommend sending or receiving any XRP or XLM. And a lot of places won't let you proceed without that second part of the equation to send. So when you're in the exchange, and let's say you have 100 XRP that you want to transfer to your other wallet, there's going to be, and I would imagine on the infographic that they do go over this, but there's going to be 2 bits of information, one directly under the other, your address and then your memo. And there'll be little buttons where you can push and copy that information onto your clipboard. And then you would just go back and forth between your 2 wallets, filling out the information that you would need, and then hit send. I don't know if I wouldn't be able to do it live for various obvious reasons, but I would hope that, I mean, there are plenty of, YouTube videos and things that you could research to learn how to do that properly. I had to do that before I could successfully, like, I didn't know what they were asking for, so I'm like, what is a memo? Where do I even find that?
Right.
So once you play around with it, it's really not that hard. And once you get it down, then it's like that for basically all platforms.
Okay.
Yes, the Banking for All Act, I believe, has been introduced. That is the digital dollar, was actually in the first stimulus package that was passed and then taken out. And Bearable Bull basically said that it was to kind of gauge our reaction to a potential digital wallet. And so whenever this new stimulus comes through, the chances of it being back in there are very high. And like what you had said, come the first, we're all going to get one.
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused on that. Do you know, is that part of Trump's plan? You said we're going to be getting digital wallets and then universal basic income and not to
There's going to
accept
be
it.
an
Well,
option
how do you not
available
accept it?
to us. Yeah. So I don't know if the second stimulus will be this, because my understanding is that this is part of just a continuation of the cabal's trajectory, that they are trying to push the digital wallet, and the worm on the hook will be, we'll give you universal basic income. You want that, don't you? And so then people will have obviously an option, but if they sign up for it, then now they're entrenched in this and they've given away their, personal.
Sovereignty.
Yeah, exactly. And then along with this, what Pimpy was saying is when you read the fine print, you can't extract the money from this digital bank account, cash it in, and then go buy precious metals. Like that will be one of the caveats that you won't be allowed to do. So it's just a further ploy to not be able to have any sort of like tangible assets as a backup. But that this will be either A, optional for people to do, or B, won't ever come to fruition because it's a different timeline and they're just trying to push their agenda. But I don't see Trump doing that, of like forcibly requiring people to sign up for something where the government will have direct access to a bank account. So.
Right. Let's hope not.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
All right. So one other thing I wanted to bring up is, for pretty much any legit crypto exchange, you're going to be asked to verify your identity. Some exchanges go to extreme lengths to verify who you are, and I would imagine that's probably for the greater good.
Yeah.
But Coinbase in particular didn't require me to hold my ID up next to my face and take a selfie, but there are some exchanges that do.
Oh.
I did have to send in a copy of the front and back of my ID.
Okay.
To verify. You don't have to do that in order to buy crypto, but you do have to do that in order to transfer, send, or receive crypto. You can buy crypto without verifying your identity.
I see.
But if you want to move it off of their exchange, you have to verify who you are.
Okay, that's good to know. And probably worth doing sooner rather
this may
than
actually
later, because if you want to sell and you're given, like, let's say a small window, if it shoots up and you're worried about it coming back down, you want to have all of that already good to go.
Right. And also in Coinbase, I did add an account, and they recommend a bank account over a credit or debit card. I've noticed credit cards are not working to be able to purchase crypto.
Interesting.
All of my credit cards that I have tried it with were denied by the credit card company itself. So I don't know if it's because of the particular platform is just a little too sketchy in their eyes still. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's still, like I said, the Wild West. So
Yeah.
I hooked my bank account directly up to it. Now, that makes it really easy to spend a lot of money very quickly, especially if, you know, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And with Coinbase, you know, sometimes the funds don't come out for like 3 days. So you just got to make sure that your money is there and you're not spending more than you have.
Right.
All right. So let me see. Okay. So like they say for here, like you would go and view all the various cryptocurrencies. You would click on the one that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would see this screen off to, I believe it's on the right, buy, sell, or convert. Oh, one other thing. In Coinbase, they have, hold on, this thing right here. Oh, see, I only have $12 worth of crypto in that right now. So I've moved most of everything off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This here, earn rewards. They have various different cryptocurrencies. And here's Stellar Lumens, XLM. I believe I earned $40, no, maybe it was close to $40 worth of XLM. And they deposit it as soon as you finish these videos, and there's a little quiz at the bottom. I think it's only like 4 or 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
You basically, you're watching the video, you're learning about the crypto, you answer a couple questions, they deposit the crypto that they say they're going to into your Coinbase account. You could take those and transfer them, convert them into XRP.
Oh.
You can keep them the way they are. You don't, you know, once you earn them, you can transfer them. Right now they have $177 plus that you could potentially earn. Some, you know, most of them are like $2 or $3 per video. These two here, Algorand and Maker. Algorand is the one that's backed by Palladium. I don't have access to these. I'm on a wait list.
Mm.
All the other ones I've already done. And then, you know, some of the currency exchange or crypto exchanges will have, you know, like these rewards for inviting people.
So where do you go to watch the videos to
And
earn the money?
okay, so let me just click on one. So that page where it says earn crypto has all the videos on it.
Because what I'm seeing is
You
the 100.
find whatever crypto. What?
Are we in the same screen? I'm still on point.
Slow computer. It's loaded. Can you see it?
No.
Oh, it's on a different screen. I'm sorry. How do I switch
Right.
screens? New share. Here we go. I'll figure this out. All right. Do you see the Coinbase video?
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I will back up a little bit to show you where I found this, but okay. So once you get to this page, this is the video that you would watch.
Okay.
What is Maker DAO? Lesson 1. And which is really weird that it says I am on a wait list, but I've already done this one. So where it says you're on the wait list will be the quiz that they ask you.
Mm-hmm.
And the answers to the quiz basically come up right in the beginning of the video. So you don't necessarily have to watch the whole thing to get your answer and to earn the crypto.
Okay.
But, you know, if you're interested in it, learn it. So anyway, so you watch the whole video. They're not very long. You answer the one question. I think it's 1 or 2 questions. And then they deposit, or you go to the next video. And there's a series of videos. Once you've done all the videos, then they deposit the total $10 or whatever it is into your account. And then you can do that for all of the videos that they have that you can access. Okay, so here's Coinbase. This earn rewards section here is where I went.
Okay.
So I'm sorry you guys didn't see all this before when I was talking about it. Okay, so here is where they have all the different cryptocurrencies that you could watch videos on and earn the crypto. Now, this one here and the XLM, how it says remaining, in order for me to earn that part of the crypto, I have to get people to join. So I have dollars that you can earn per each video.
Gotcha.
Or per each crypto, but then you have the opportunity for some of them to earn way more. And so that's where they get the 177 plus, is you're not necessarily guaranteed to get the $50 or $40 that are remaining, but you're eligible if you can get people to sign up.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so there's a whole slew of things that you can watch and learn and earn, and then convert if you want into whatever cryptocurrency that you wish. So here are the prices page, and this is where you would go to select which cryptocurrency that you want to watch. You could star it if you want to watch it, and it would come up on your homepage.
Wow.
Or you could just, Ethereum. Okay, so you click on it, and Ethereum is also China owned.
Interesting.
So I don't, they don't, Ethereum is kind of going to be grandfathered in, but it's not necessarily going to be, I don't know, it's kind of still wishy-washy on its, what it's going to, if it's going to stick around and how it's going to stick around. Okay, so he's telling me, because he's doing just as much research, if not more than I am, that in their reset, Ethereum lives just like Bitcoin would. Okay. And so they probably will be using that. But in XRP's reset, it doesn't. It does not meet the use case. Okay, he said it doesn't have a use case, but if a crypto doesn't have a use case, it's not going to be up to the standard, whatever standard that they set forth through regulation. Okay. Anyhow, so hold on. Let me go back to new share here. I'll go back to our other screen. I mean, I don't know if I have anything else. Is there anything you think I should add?
So I have a question. Let's say you go to Coinbase, you buy your coin, you connect it to your bank, you've bought it, you buy a ledger, you transfer. So you're transferring, to be clear, the coins that you've purchased, or if you purchase like a fraction of a coin or whatever, you offload that from hot storage, which is, let's say, Coinbase's website, into cold storage like a XUMM ledger, and then you're transferring the coinage, but obviously not the value of the coin at the date that you transfer it. It's just like money.
So it's going to be a lot like the stock market.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be a lot like the stock market. You're going to invest at a certain price, and it could depreciate or it could appreciate. So, like when we first bought in, I think we bought in at 27 cents for XRP. Now it's down to 24 cents. So technically we've kind of lost money, but in the big scheme of things, around a quarter per coin for something that's going to be exponentially valuable, it's a steal, so like,
but by you transferring it,
whether it's 17 cents,
like, doesn't affect its value, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So even if it's in offline, it will still appreciate in value, because you can log on to your Ledger app and view it just like you would be viewing a stock market. So you'll see the graph and you'll see how it's doing per hour, by the week, by the month, by the year. And you can view just like you would a stock market
Very cool.
asset.
Okay.
And so it's very much like that. And oh, one other thing that I believe it's the blockchain backer, his YouTube video. He's like the graph guy. If you want to get like down to the details, he knows how to use the software for stock markets, for trading. That's what he does. And he showed on one of the videos, it was a mirror, the current stock market and how the trend is going to crash. And it looked like two wedges side by side. So you have the stock market crashing and then the crypto market rising. So he said at that moment of crash, you'll see the crypto mirror and kind of rise in response, because the P is your on-demand liquidity. Ripple calls themselves the plumbers. So our old financial system has a lot of clogs and kinks in the pipes, and XRP is like the roto-rooter. What? Oh, okay. And the other thing that I wanted to bring up is there are already there's a waiting list for I believe it's a crypto Visa. It's called the XUMM card, and we'll have to put the links on the bottom because I don't have it available right now. And I think it's something I texted you, Alex. It's called the XUMM, and you basically get on the waiting list. And once this thing goes live, then you are eligible to have a Visa card. I believe that will be backed by your crypto.
Oh, okay.
And with XRP, it's almost going to be like you have I guess what I would call like a black credit card, like a no limit credit card. Like you go to buy a house and your lender knows you have XRP. Well, here's your house, you know, sign the papers now. So it's going to be like your hedge, you know, against what's happening. So, you know, that and you know, your metals, obviously. I think they're both really good to have. So, but that's pretty much all I can.
So I have one more question.
Yeah.
Let's say someone wanted to go and then sell some of the crypto that they bought. So they've purchased a ledger, they've transferred everything off, it's on their USB ledger drive, etc. If they want to go and then sell some of their coin, would you do that through Coinbase again, or would you do that elsewhere?
You could do that through your Ledger app.
Oh, okay.
It is an exchange. You can buy and sell and trade your crypto using the Ledger app. I think it's a lot like Coinbase, where maybe not every coin is available to do that with. And so if you run into that, let's say you offload your crypto to your Ledger, but Ledger doesn't, I don't think that would happen. Anyway, some, I guess if you're going to use an exchange to sell your crypto, it's obviously going to be one that will carry the crypto that you're trying to sell. So what I'm trying to say is kind of pointless. So anyway, what I've seen people recommend is that, you know, you could convert your XRP into the USDC and then transfer it to your bank account. You could, what? Put a lien against your XRP? But, you know, if you want to use some of your crypto, you could easily just sell it. I mean, you don't have to it would be like selling your stock on the stock exchange.
Okay.
So, and then you would receive the money in return, and then you would just transfer it into your bank account that is hooked up through your exchange.
Got it.
Ideally, but you could easily convert it into whatever other cryptocurrency and then get it off that way. You know, if you wanted to keep it in crypto, but a CBDC to be able to use, you could just transfer it over to a CBDC and then use it that way without turning it into physical fiat. Okay. And then, what else? Oh, I cannot forget this. Okay. So there is a thing called airdrops, and it's basically like free crypto, free money. And a lot of the new cryptocurrencies will offer airdrops. XRP had an airdrop a while way back. And so people did receive XRP for free. So that's kind of like what they do to introduce their crypto into the space. XRP holders come December 12th will be receiving at least a 1-to-1 ratio of the Flare Spark token. And we don't really know a whole heck of a lot about the Flare Spark token. There is some things coming out about it more now than there was when I first started learning about all this. And there's only certain exchanges that will allow that airdrop to occur on. The XUMM Wallet, the Ledger Nano, both support the airdrop. And then there's a couple of other ones that you can look up. There used to be only like 4 or 5, and now there's like 16. I don't know. There's a larger number, and there's new exchanges being added almost all the time that will support the airdrop. Not everybody wants to support it. So if you would like to claim your Spark tokens, I would recommend using an exchange that supports it if you plan on keeping your stuff on an exchange. Otherwise, there is, which we'll link at the bottom as well, it's basically like it's a website with a set of directions, and you choose whether you're setting up your XUMM wallet or your XRP ledger, or your Nano ledger. And you just follow the instructions step by step. And for me, I did it for the XUMM wallet first. And I went step by step. And at some point, I had to download a second wallet within that process. And once I finished downloading it, I went back to the website and it just picked up where I left off. So it was like it knew what I was doing in the process. So I didn't lose where I was at. So it's fairly easy to set up once you just follow the instructions. And so there's a chance that you may get more than one Spark token per XRP. It just depends on how many people claim their tokens. The ones that are unclaimed get dispersed to those who did claim it. So you may end up with more than one Flare token. What the value of it is going to be, nobody really knows yet, but it's free. Hang on to it. It might have a specific use case as to why it is coming out with XRP. So it may be very valuable. So if you decide to go that route, I would recommend hanging on to them. And again, you can set up your Ledger Nano. And on, I believe on the infographics to that first web page I showed you guys, it has an infographic on how to set up how to claim Spark tokens, Ledger Nano. They may have one on here for the XUMM wallet, I'm not sure. But again, we'll post the link to be able to do that. So,
cool.
But there, I think that's about it.
Well, thank you so much. This is amazing. And obviously, if folks have questions, they can post it below or message us on Facebook or wherever, and we could try to answer those. So tell me about IMPivo and what are some updates and exciting new advances in either the company or Margaret's life?
Oh, well, okay. So For I Am Pivo, I was approached by Ryan Delarme and Justin Deschamps to basically be one of, or at least one of the organ makers that they would recommend and send people to. So in response to that, I Am Pivo now has an affiliate program. That if you have a website or a business and you would like to promote I Am Pivo, you may register and then I would pay you.
Cool.
So that's new. And then Tyler with Pyramana, Ormus, he is also an I Am Pivo affiliate now. So if you purchase Orgon from us through his website, he'll get a small percentage of the sale price. So that's cool. And plus on our website, we have the option now to any of the Orgon devices that we can, that are made to order, you can opt to have Tyler's Ormus put in it. So if you want to do that. So, and then if I could share the screen again. Oh, not that one, that one. Okay. I will show you the website. I'll just do this. Okay. Doodly-doo. All right. Sorry for the slow internet.
It's thinking.
All right. So,
what does the name mean? Where did you get that?
So PIVO stands for Project Evolve. And that was the name of what we are doing when it first started. But actually, kind of more, our name kind of appeared before the products. In the beginning, like, so, all right. So Ivan and I, when we first met, have been dreaming about farming.
Cool.
And growing food. And so that is our humanitarian project hopefully when we make our money. So it was Project Evolve. And when we went looking for doing business as names, Project Evolve was taken. So we had just really started dabbling into the spiritual aspect of it. And that was back in 2012. And then in 2014, well, around then we were attuned to Reiki. So it was really like kind of everything started culminating. We learned about Orgon, we were attuned to Reiki. And so we decided that we were going to kind of take a spiritual take on our name, aside from the evolve part. But I Am is very that understanding of that profound statement and what occurs after that statement really kind of helps shape the direction of our business and how we want all of our future businesses to go. Like we create our reality based off of I am evolving. I am becoming what I envision. I am creating my reality. I am sovereign. I am, all of these things that we can then kind of, I don't know, it was kind of like our guide to create our spiritual side of our business. So we decided that I Am Pivo was just probably like, it worked for us. So it's Project Evolve still, but it's also our spiritual side that involves the consciousness of it all, I guess you could say.
Love it.
So that's the meaning of our name. And then we have a little mascot, and that's Pivo. And he is, in the beginning, was a seed mixed with technology, only because Project Evolve with the food was going to utilize the newest technology to revolutionize our food system. So that's why it's a seed. But when we utilize it in the spiritual aspect, it could still work that way. So for I Am Pivo Oregon, we took out it used to have little circuit boards all over its body and all that stuff. I took those out. So anyway, you might see him on this webpage. But okay, I wrote our first blog. Good heavens, we have arrived again, because before the pandemic happened, we just created our website, and we were distributors for Green Shield Technology, and right when we made our website was specifically to house their products on our website. They told me shortly before the lockdown started occurring that they would require me to make a order of $500 or more, and that if I couldn't do that, I couldn't be a distributor. So it was really aiming towards like the big guys, and I just couldn't afford to do that. Sure. So we kind of went our different ways. Then the lockdown happened, but I kept in touch with him because he's in Italy, whole other side of the world. And so anyway, so we kept talking, and because of Justin and Ryan and Tyler and the affiliate program making my website again, I got back in touch with Green Shield, and they're like, yeah, we're not doing that $500 limit anymore, so you're more than welcome to come back on board. So we talked about the Ormus powder, Stillness in the Storm, and Green Shield. I don't know if Green Shield has translated their website yet, because they just redid their whole website. I asked him to provide a English translation, but basically what they've been doing is it's like quantum technology, and they're utilizing it to help heal your body. So they have several products. Their first products that they started coming out with was called Soft Mag, I believe it's called. And they're good for like sports injuries or muscle pain or things like that. It's kind of like a wrap. So they make them for your neck or your shoulder, your knee, or your back. They have one for your, like a foot pad for like when you're sitting at the computer to help with sciatica and lower back pain. And they also have what they call a life pen, which is a plasma generating pen. And so it really plays off the Keshe, MT Keshe plasma technology, the McGrath technology. And in fact, Giuseppe, the guy who runs Green Shield, kind of learned from him in the McGrath technology. So it touches on that kind of side. Anyway, this is all in Italian. I can't read it. I don't see any way to translate it. He said he would, but I don't think he's gotten to it yet. I'm sorry?
How did you come across the Green Shield company?
Say that again? Well, I follow MT Keshe, I don't know how you say his name, on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
And I have for a while. And they really talk about like free energy and plasma technology and plasma GANs. I don't know if anybody's familiar with plasma GANs. But I purchased some toothpaste a while back with plasma GANs in it. Granted, it was charcoal, and I don't think the charcoal was great quality because it shredded the inside of my mouth.
Oh, no.
But basically, the idea with the plasma technology is that it works with your body, it works with the plasma that surrounds you, it works with your biofield, and it brings it back into balance the way it was originally designed to work. I've heard people making GANs with like a tooth, that they had from like when they were a kid, and then making the GANs and then putting like a tube filled with that plasma GANs around their head, and were able to like regrow teeth.
Wow.
So yeah, so that kind of like really got me interested in the plasma technology. So Green Shield just came up during a search.
Yeah.
And I just reached out to them. They had a Facebook page, and he was like, come on board. And he was super nice. And I know like there's a few people from like our groups who also follow Green Shield. So, I mean, I don't know if it's well known, but
He's
you
on
know, it's
Facebook.
known.
And where else? Like YouTube?
They're on Facebook. I don't know if they're on YouTube or not.
Okay.
I know on my Facebook, I think it's Green Shield, but they're Biotech Labs or something like that.
Oh,
Is their other like branch
yeah.
Of it. But so back to what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So in the shop, there's a section for Green Shield.
Oh, cool.
So you can go to that. And right now, I think I only have 5. These are bioactive shoe sole inserts that work with your bioenergy field. And they have a couple of products. I think they have some like shorts and even a scarf that works with your energy field to provide, you know, balance and things like that. Now these products do come from Italy, so I don't ship them. I only take in the money and then I transfer the money over to them, and then they ship out. They don't have a website to purchase from directly. They rely solely on distributors like me.
Okay.
And there are a few in the US, and there's even a physical store that is carrying Green Shield products in New York, that you could actually go in and touch their products before utilizing. But I plan on getting the cervical shield. I haven't bought any personally, but I have sold one to a lady, and she loves it. So but I want one for my neck, because I don't know if all y'all know, but I had a bad car accident and I have several herniated discs in my neck, and I suffer from chronic pain, and it's a daily battle. But anyway, so I highly recommend these products. Definitely going to be trying once I can. But, you know, you could explore our shop. We have a Conscious Creators page that if you are a business, any one of you guys in our tribe, you'll see some familiar names on here. I'd be more than happy to, you know, put you up here and just get some exposure for you, help each other.
Thank you.
So I have Pyromana, Green Shield. I don't know why this logo won't load properly. I've tried it like 10 different times, but it always comes out like that. Dr. Alex Bloom.
Who's that guy? I've heard that name.
I don't know. And then I believe that's Kiona West, Stillness in the Storm. Sarah Bolin, she's like the CBD marijuana lady.
Oh, cool.
She's certified in it, so if you need some CBD oil for your stress or whatever, she is the lady to talk to.
Okay.
And then some of you know Kai Ashley, tapping EFT, breath work. So there's just some resources on here for, you know, us like-minded people that you may be able to utilize to help propel you, or to help you, you know, holistically, or whatever the case is. And there's plenty of space, and I can make more space.
Very cool.
So that's that.
Can you go back to your shop and show us your queue?
I don't know if that is loaded yet.
Okay.
But hello. I have my Etsy shop that has the queue on there that I can show you.
And your Etsy shop, I think is just the same name, right? So when people go to Etsy,
it's I Am Pivo on Etsy, right?
Yeah.
Everything is loaded in our Etsy shop. I haven't had a chance to do there's only so much time in the day. Here's our little Pivo guy. So he's got his Reiki energy in his hands right now. So, okay, Oregon.
Got quite.
I have a lot of I have a lot of patriotic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
because, America.
Yeah.
And so here is one for your car. It will hang by your rearview mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can get it in any alphabet letter that you desire, but of course, I highlight the Q.
Mm-hmm.
This one is just like a standalone, put it by your computer on your bookshelf or something like that. There's no way to hang it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then this one here is a flatter version, and it's good to put like on your phone or on your tablet or something like that. It has adhesive backing.
Awesome.
Um, and so, yeah, so that's our only Q stuff. But here, this one here, the Shungite Flower of Life Oregon device specifically has Tyler's Ormus in it.
Oh, cool.
But again, I can put Tyler's Ormus in any of these. These mini organs have been a big hit. I was approached by a lady who had a smartwatch, and I don't remember what she called it, but it was a watch that provides frequency healing.
Wow.
And she's like, kind of like a oxymoronic, but I need something to balance out the EMFs.
Yeah.
So she reached out to me. So I made these minis. They're about a half an inch in diameter.
Okay.
And the very front is the stones, but the whole backside is metals
Mm-hmm.
and shungite. And there's a tiny little adhesive pad. And so that's just for like smart watches and small things. But then you have these are a little bit bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have ones for the phone and all that. So anyway, so that's just a couple of our new products.
So scroll down a little bit. Um, there's the one that you put in your pocket on
Yes,
the right there.
this one
So
here.
I have that one, you guys, and I literally, so I'm working from home now, right? And so I have like a couple silver coins that I just play with throughout the day. And then I always have that one near me. And it's so cool because it's very grounding. And I just put it in my pocket, or if I'm leaving to go to the grocery store or just whatever, like I try to carry that one with me and really like it. And then I have the one, two to the left of that one right there. That one is so freaking badass. Oh my God. I don't know how long it takes you to like put those together, but it is so
Um,
cool.
Less than an hour.
Wow. That's impressive.
Um, and this particular one I thought was really cool. I made a video of it before I even sanded it,
Mm,
and I posted it on Pinterest, and it's gone viral. It's all over the world.
nice.
Um, I wish the sales would reflect that, but
Yeah.
it's definitely one of the most popular ones. So
And your Pinterest page, I'm assuming, is the same name.
it's Pivo Oregon.
Aha. Okay. Cool.
And on the top here of my the banner on Etsy, I have all
Oh,
the
there you
social
go.
media links. And then on our webpage, we also have the social media links as well.
There we go. Good deal. Well, I have that Q one hanging aside across in my bedroom right by my light switch. So I get to see that every day when I leave my room. And it's just really freaking cool. So, and then if you turn your screen off, I'll share with people a bonus that I got.
Oh, the canoe.
Yeah. So I think
Yes.
but
I'm sorry.
it says BC for douche canoe, right? And then you flip it over. Look at this. It says SS Alexicus. And it says Q17. So I have this sitting on my desk. And so whenever I'm here at my workstation, I get to look at that. So really enjoy it.
Yes, your douche canoe.
Yes, exactly. And Victoria, I should have brought it back here, but she sent me in the mail the other day a douche canoe cup with the definition. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, great. So I just,
Well, we're just a bunch of chumps and deplorables anyway. So
right? Exactly. Yep. We're going to rule the world one day.
exactly.
Yep. So, anyways, well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us all about Bitcoin and
Thank you for having me.
all good stuff. So, the best is yet to come, my people, and just really excited. So, I'm telling folks like, even like clients, but like in a very soft way, like there's a lot up in the air this next week. We don't know what's going to happen in terms of all the play out. When I was talking to Angel last night, our prediction is that we probably won't hear right away about Trump's victory, and that it could even get to the point where like mainstream media is actively lying and saying that Biden will win. Um, so I think either way, whether that comes out or it's like a clear, like one of the oh, I don't remember his name, but he was one of the predictors for the basically the shakedown of the election results and the percentages and everything. And he predicted 91-9 percentage wise.
Saw that.
And he was one of the few predictors from the 2016 election that accurately predicted Trump would win. So eventually the truth will come out in terms of the landslide. And this is going to be like the biggest political upset in recorded history, in my opinion. So whether it comes out directly that Trump wins or later, I think there's still going to be upset and upheaval, and the Soros minions will create havoc. It might even honestly get to the point where they storm the White House and try to burn it down. And that would then be a prompt before that happens to be what then has Trump go on Air Force One and then tweet out to everybody and then transition to the emergency broadcast. So there's a lot up in the air. We'll see how it all unfolds. Be safe and please stay home as much as you can, at least on the day of the election, and stock up with food.
I voted early.
Yes. Yep. Smart. Very smart. In Oregon, we're not allowed to vote in person. We have to vote by mail. So that kind of stinks. But I'm going Monday to the headquarters and going to directly kind of give them my ballot. So.
Whatever happened to the blockchain voting?
Right? Yeah. So that was, there might have been others, but like Charlie Ward and maybe Charlie Freak were wondering about that. There's so much in the air. I don't know. I mean, Charlie's not.
Could we be using it without knowing it?
Well, that's kind of a wondering that I have. Charlie's not on YouTube anymore, and he's transferred to, I don't remember the name of the website.
Rumble?
All of his videos are there.
Rumble
might be a backup, but
Okay.
I'll make a note and I'll put the link to where Charlie's videos are now, but it's on like a separate website that he runs. And you can sign up for his newsletter. So I think with everybody, like, take it with a grain of salt, right? No one's a god here that we know for sure exactly what's happening. And obviously, as an important caveat to repeat that we said at the beginning, that neither of us are financial advisors. We can't give you formal advice. We're just trying to help out fellow douche canoes. But, you know, regardless of kind of the details, it's all working in our direction. Again, another channel that I want to highlight, like I did in my silver videos, is Morpheus78. He's really dialed in and kind of goes through like a logical breakdown of all the steps and like in depth, like with Hunter Biden and what's happening with Uncle Creepy Joey, and how like the Patriots are in full control, and to not stay in a low vibe of fear, because everything's going to work out. Just be smart. Make sure you have, I always say, just in general, 2 weeks of food and necessities just in case. You know, get ready for a whole new way in which we live our life. Like the 5D world is coming, I think, faster than we think. So it's very exciting. Best timeline ever. Yeah.
So
all right, everybody. All right, my dear, I'll let you go, but it was wonderful connecting, and send me links when you've got them and I'll put them down below, and we'll go from there.
All right. See you later, douche canoes.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yeah.